Hey, everybody. This is Dana Summers with Real Talk with Boutique, and I have along with me Mr.
Stephen McNaney
and
Lorri Ann Code.
So we are absolutely blessed today to have a rock star like Lorri Ann Code, best-selling author of
Find Your Mojo.
Find Your Mojo. And I have found my mojo when it comes to Lorri Ann. We have been connected for a myriad of years, and she not only is a personal trainer and coach, but she has Mama Boot Camp where she whips women into shape in both a spiritual, physical, and emotional way that is like no other. She has something called Soul Camp, which is an amazing way to do self-care because we all struggle with self-care. I can't say enough about her. She is probably by far the most impactful woman that I've come across in my adult life. And I wanted to share some of that special mojo that she has for you. So I'm going to step back and let her talk and have a chat with you. Go right ahead, Lorri Ann, take it over.
Oh, thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it and love being here with both of you.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. And I wanted to tell you that I really love approaching a woman. And I do work with men as well, but my heart and my passion and my path are working with women. And it's all about mind, body, and spirit. So where do you start when you, especially in these crazy times, and actually really in any time, but it's really highlighted even bigger right now because of the fact that we're talking right in the middle of a pandemic. And so I'm walking around and I'm looking at how people are handling this. There's either one of two ways. It's either they're rising up and it's faith over fear, or they're letting the fear rule their lives. And I just want to give you guys 3 simple things that you can do today, that you can do right now, that are going to change your life. And one of them is about mindset. I just am looking at how people are managing their mindset or not. So you can either move through this with grace and with an attitude of gratitude for having a little bit of extra time. Because I can't tell you how many people I've seen going, I wish I had some extra time. I wish I had some extra time. And no, this is not the way that we would have wished it would have happened.
No.
We wish it would have happened in a much lighter circumstance. But honestly, would you have taken the time if you weren't made to? You're forced to. So what are you going to do with this time? And one of the things that I really want you guys to focus on is gratitude. So gratitude is even an amazing thing that can even shift your immune system. It's tied right to the parasympathetic nervous system, and which, if you're not grateful, and you start to go into fight or flight, it actually beats up your immune system, which is crazy to think that your mindset can affect whether you get sick or not.
Wow.
Not just now, but not just now, but all the time. So that cortisol runs through your body and it gets you into fight or flight. And Center of Disease and Control talks about cortisol and how horrible it is for your body. But oh my gosh, gratitude. So I'm not talking about going, oh, I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful I have food. I'm talking about walking through your whole day and going, what am I grateful for? So that at the end of the day, you've been looking all day for the positive. You've been looking all day for the good. And so it could be small, simple things like encouraging somebody. And when you look at somebody, like I was in the grocery store the other day, and this grocery clerk was looking at me, and she had a look of panic in her face. And I was like, looked at her and just said, just take a deep breath. I go, I'm so grateful you're here. And I just want you to know that you're in the front lines and you're doing such an amazing job, and you're open for us. And you're one of my heroes. And she started to cry. And I was just like, but you know what happens is when you share that gift of words that lift up somebody else, it lifts you up in return.
It gives you more back.
That's true.
So I just want everybody to, at the end of the day, you're looking all day long. So it just shifts your perspective. And then the second piece of that is you really need to protect your mindset like it's gold. Like your mindset is everything. That's what you create from. That's where your happiness comes from. That's what makes you have pep in your step. And it affects your job. It affects your relationships. It affects how you feel about yourself. I mean, even just your confidence level. So it's really so important that you protect your mindset. So I'm talking about what you consume, and I'm not talking about what you eat. I'm talking about what are you reading? What are you listening to? Are you listening to CNN, which is constant negative news? You know, you really need to just plug in just to get enough. And I promise you, if you plug in for 10 minutes once in the morning and 10 minutes at night, you're going to find out everything that you need to know. And if anything bigger happens, somebody will tell you.
Yes.
It'll be all over Facebook.
Yes.
You're going to find out.
And Instagram,
so don't worry about
else.
that. So really, you know, I plug into some podcasts, which I'm really grateful for this podcast. I love uplifting podcasts. It fires me up. It's what gives me the motivation and the inspiration to give back to people because seriously, girlfriend, you cannot serve from your knees.
You can't.
And you can't serve from under the covers.
No.
And so how do you know if something is lifting you up, whether it be a person or a place that you're working or something that you're reading? When you walk away, how do you feel?
Yeah.
So do you feel better or do you feel like, oh my gosh, I need to go take a shower?
Yeah.
You know, seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I really would like for you guys just to think about what you're consuming, what you're, even music you're listening to, how to, you know, you can put on a really good jam and move around and get some music going before you have to go into a meeting, things that really lift your vibration. Super important. And also people, places, books, music, podcast, all of those things. So the simple thing is you're looking all day long for 3 things that you're grateful for. Before you go to bed, you have to write them down. So you're keeping a journal. Okay. The second thing is super simple, but I don't know why people have a problem with this, but it's life-changing and it can really raise your immune system. It can really help you just in life, not just during these times, but all the time. And it's that, please, dear God, drink your water.
Yes.
Please, please just drink your water. Why are we not drinking our water? I mean, don't even get me started.
I know.
I'm like, oh my gosh, please drink your water. So 40 ounces of water by noon, 40 ounces of water by 6 p.m. Here's what happens if you're not hydrated.
Right. You to tell them.
Okay, you're going to be tired. You're going to be tired. Who has time to be tired?
Not
You
right
do
now.
not have time to be tired. And do we want to walk around with toxins in our body?
No.
No. So why aren't we drinking our water? I have people who look at me and go, I just can't drink 40 ounces of water by noon. And I'm saying, well, are you sipping? Because nobody's going to drink 40 ounces of water by noon if you're just sipping it. So you've got to do the chug.
Yep.
You just got to get it down.
Got it.
Okay,
Chug,
just
chug,
get it
right.
down.
I
Okay.
like
So the chug.
chug. Yep.
And then the other thing is that a lot of people, you know, in all the time in life, especially if you're a high-powered businesswoman like Dana is, if you're running around and you're super high-powered and you've got lots of responsibilities, you're going to have cortisol.
Yes.
So, and you don't have time to have all of the cortisol layers on, and it makes you feel sick, you know, and we talked about it earlier, you know, just, you know, gratitude, getting rid of the cortisol, that actually really helps shift that and get rid of it and move it out of your body. But if you're 2% dehydrated, you're going to burn 30% less calories.
Yes.
Wow.
That's the
30%.
truth. It's true.
I know. I always get thirsty when I hear that.
I know.
Don't you just want to drink some water right now?
Where's our
Don't you
water?
want to drink some water? I know. I want to drink some water. And so, and Dana and I were talking a little bit right before this. We were talking about brain fog and how we don't like it. And so if you're well hydrated, you're going to be a smooth moving machine. You're going to think better. You're going to be more focused. You're going to have more clarity. I mean, Brendan Bouchard, one of my favorites, he talks about clarity as being like one of the key components for success.
Yes.
How are you going to be clear if you have brain fog? You're not. You're not going to be making your best decisions. So, and it's just such a simple thing. I just want to make people drink their water all day long. I just want to do that, you guys. That's super important to me. So 2 things. We start gratitude.
Yep.
And we're going to look for it all day long.
Yep.
Not 3 of them. And then the second thing, you're going to drink your water 40 by noon, 40 by 6. And then the last thing is, please move.
Yeah.
Please move. And you know, of course I love what I do. I love boot camp, but I have a little bit of attention deficit disorder with exercise. So I like all kinds of movement. That's why I do triathlons.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I'm liking yoga.
Yeah.
I love
Mhm.
strength training.
Yep.
And I know very few women who get big and bulky from strength training.
Yeah.
Very few. It's just like one of the most beautiful things,
Mhm.
especially for an aging woman, to
Mhm.
lift weights.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You talk about life changing for you and
Yes.
holding on to lean muscle, which is your calorie burning. That's your
Mhm.
calorie burning engine.
Yeah.
So you want more lean muscle. You do not want to be walking around going, oh, it's going to make me bulky. No,
No.
that's not going to happen. And I would really like to see you all doing about 20 to 30 minutes
Mhm.
of movement a day. So something as simple as walking,
Mhm.
getting up and moving.
Mhm.
The Mayo Clinic talks about sitting
Mhm.
being the new smoking.
It is.
It is
crazy.
how hard it is on your body.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
And they do. And you brush your teeth every day.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't you move your body?
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys are brushing your teeth every day. But I do really want you guys to be moving. So vitamin D is super important, and movement is medicine. So
Mhm.
I have in my family little low-grade bluesiness that happens, and
Mhm.
a lot of them were self-medicating with alcohol and prescription drugs.
Mhm.
And for me, it has just been such a life changer to move. And endorphins are very real chemical
They are.
that get released. And studies show that if you are moving consistently 20 to 30 minutes a day, then actually what happens is that you're getting that consistent
Mhm.
influx of a real life chemical, endorphins, that will actually make you happy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I can't tell you how many people I work with that have issues with anxiety,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it's crippling,
It is.
and depression.
Impression. Mm-hmm.
And how can you have your joy in life when you're feeling depressed and anxiety, cortisol, dehydrated, not grateful? I mean, all the things.
Yeah.
It's all the things.
Which is what's going on to a lot of people right now. So perfect timing to be talking about this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think starting with something simple, the 3 things that I suggested are a really great place to start. And if you need some help, I do online challenges as well, which is really nice, because I know with a lot of people don't have time to go to the gym. A lot of people don't want to go to a gym now because all the stuff.
It's
all the things,
germy
germy, and so anyhow, anybody who needs some help, I'm here. I'm your girl.
So, with quarantine and everything going on, what are some good tips, around the home?
I have a lot of good tips.
Personally, I've been going around my block and just walking and stuff like that because our gym is closed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
But when's your classes? You said you had some online.
I do. I have them online, and I'm doing a Tuesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. online class. I do have, I post on, if you could follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, Lorri Ann Code, and it's LORRIANN. 2 separate words. If you follow me, I post all kinds of free stuff.
Yeah.
I really like to bring value because I want to raise the vibration of the planet, and I feel like with those type of platforms, I can really help people. And
I watch you. I do all the time.
Do you do them though, Steven?
Oh man, no. We're on camera, so
Steven.
But I do a lot of weightless workouts, so you don't need to have a gym membership. You don't even need to have any equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many great exercises that you can do that require nothing but just your own body. Core health is super important. Something as simple as planking.
Yes.
And, having modifications for different types of exercises is something that I'm really well versed in because I've been doing this for over 30 years. So, and it scares me when I see people starting a program and then end up injured.
Yes.
Because then they're back on the couch and then they can't move and then they feel disappointed in themselves. Yeah. When really it's the expert that kind of let them down a little bit.
It happens all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah. And so if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I post videos, I post workouts, I share nutrition tips, fitness tips. I just, want to help whoever needs help. Whoever wants help, I would love to help you.
And the cool thing is we will get this put together and out to you, but the resources will be on there. Just put a question in the chat feature, and we're going to share everything with regard to how to reach out to Lorri Ann, because ultimately we started working together almost 20 years ago, and I've gone through so many peaks, valleys, ebbs, flows. I would say I'm probably in the worst shape that I have been in my adult life. But I do know this. I know the second that Lorri Ann connects with me again at 4:30 today, that I will be on fire and it'll happen. And I will be probably the healthiest I've been again in less than a month or two. Because it's a mindset.
It is a mindset. 2,
it's listening to somebody that truly has your best interest in heart and not their pocketbook, because there's lots of what you would call trainers out there. But the reason why I choose to surround myself with people like Lorri Ann and many others that you're going to see coming on here for our podcast is because they genuinely have a heart for wanting to help individuals elevate their lives in a positive way and make change that's long term. So, the truth of the matter is, yes, 80% of what we do is our diet and what we put in our body. But a lot of us are sitting in front of the Zoom right now. We're Zooming and we're doing conference calls and we're not actively out there doing what we used to do. And that takes a toll on your body, which is why you're probably wondering why your brain is saying, I'm so sad, I'm so concerned. Yes, there's reason to be concerned right now in life, but there's also, like she says, the way you approach it and the perspective that you take. So I wanted to make sure that we had her on here to share what a valuable resource. She's in my little pip pocket and my favorite, my Polly Pocket girl, that will literally rock your world in a short amount of time. But you gain so much more value than you'll ever get reaching out to somebody who just wants to show you a program. She's amazing, has made a big impact on our community. So what are anything in closing you want to make sure we cover before we close out?
Well, I do want to say one thing is that life, Dana did say about life and how I've been with her through the highs and the lows, and that in reality is what life is all about. And it's just because you learn something and you know something that you should be doing something, accountability, motivation, inspiration, all the things that to get people started, because I always say 14 days starts momentum.
It does.
21 days it turns into a habit. And then by the time you get through a full month, it's like part of your life. It's part of your lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so I am super excited to have her, and I want you to know, please reach out to any of us, myself, Stephen, Lorri Ann, and we will make sure that we continue to bring you this awesome content and raising the bar and the level of excitement, enthusiasm, and once again, support. So Real Talk with Boutique is here because we want to support you as a community. We want to support our local businesses in this time of need. It sounds like we're probably going to continue this shelter in place a little longer, which I kind of anticipated. But while you do, make sure you are getting up and make it a contest with family members that you drink as much water as needed, and so that you're feeling healthier and cleaner. If you do have that glass of wine, make sure that you have your water first, or you sip every other. There's some great stuff that I put into my water that's hydrating, and I can talk to you about that if you ever have any questions, or anything that's hydrating that could go into your water, just as long as you get it down. But we want to leave you with this just positivity and just let you know that we get it. We know where you're all sitting. We're all in the same boat. Oddly, there's no designation of difference of where someone sits in our community right now. And it's funny how that is, because doctors, lawyers, attorneys, fitness individuals, real estate agents, dentists, we're all in the same boat. We're all equal to the same situation. We have bodies that need to be nurtured and fed so that we can take care of all those around us. So thanks so much for listening today. Make sure that you check us out on Instagram or YouTube. We are Boutique Real Estate or Real Talk with Boutique. And we're going to just say thank you, Lorri Ann.
You're welcome. I was glad to be here.
And go out and make it happen. Thanks for taking the time.